Siamo qui in un nuovo video, siamo con... What is your name?
Jonathan Jungman.
And lui ha fatto primo posto al playoff di YCS di Rimini. What did you play?
I played Zoo Draco Demise.
Please, go to the deck profile.
So Maxi, only hand trap because it's broken.
Ultimate Maxi.
Yes, because it's more broken as ultimates.
When you draw two when you activate Ultimaxi.
Oh yes, that's what I've been told. Zoo engine, very small because we played the mice, so only 5 of them. It's all you need. 2 dynamite, 2 because you win going first anyway, so you would rather have the ones that allow you to go second. Speaking of going second, triple Ignis.
Why triple Ignis?
White free Ignis?
Yeah.
Free Ignis is the best one going second because you just get more of the Draco spells, and so you draw more cards, you can summon more cards on your second turn, even if they have back row. You can play through it with this one. So that's why. This is a good one of. Can search Masterpiece to seal games. It's good when you demise into traps and you can summon it, and then you have like trap tribute summon on their turn, even if you demised. Only one Masterpiece. I hate this card. It only bricks your hand, or it's win more when you summon it. It's only good when you search it. Every time I drew it from like my start hand, I lost because it takes too much to summon. Field spells. Free diagram, 2 terraforming. I didn't max terraforming because its diagram is also a bad going second card, because you never resolve diagram through freaking Cosmic Cyclone, Ghost Ogres and the Trident. So I would rather have cards that allow me to play first. Play second instead of only cards that allow me to play first.
When with this deck, you prefer going second or first?
I still go first because of the Zoo engine. The idea is that you just use all your Zoo turn 1 to make plays and establish board pressure, and then you can start playing the true Dracos in the grind game. So I still prefer to go first, but you don't always win the die roll, so that's why I built my deck to be able to go second. Speaking of going second, 6 of the true Draco spells, it's your additional normals, it's the cards that's like the heart and soul of pushing through opponents' fields. 1 tanky, only 1 because you don't want that many Zoos, but I play this over a 6 Zodiac because you can tribute it, so you basically get tribute fodder or diagram fodder together with your Zoo search. Also, if you demise into it, you can set it, and then you activate it on your next turn, and you got your Zoo cards for free. Draw power, 2 desires, not free because resolving more than 1 is really suboptimal in this deck, in my opinion. You just lose too many resources, although drawing 2 is of course broken. 2 is the perfect amount. The aforementioned card of the mice, the reason it works, it's like even if you draw your Zoo cards, if it's a barrage, you can just set it, and then your next turn you can activate it, and you get free cards for 1 card if they don't ash it, of course. So it's just too good to pass up, in my opinion. Also, together with Pot of Desires, Heritage, you just keep drawing through your entire deck to all the important cards you need to stop your opponent. This card, it works with the mice. You just set it, and then next turn Zoo plays. Even if it like kind of sucks to draw both in your first hand, it still works because you can get pressure because you got +3 of the mice, and then you Zoo next turn. Trap lineup, 3 of I win against pure Zoo. Then for traps, this is like basically a pure true Draco deck, except for like the Zoo engine on turn 1. So I max out on all the targets, especially since the trap with Ignis usually outs the Trident for you. So that's why I wanted to max it, so I can see both Ignis and one of these going second. Last card is permanent dimensional barrier against Zoo. And if you need to place yourself, which you don't usually like do past turn 1, you can just turn it off with like barrage in your own diagram, or you can tribute it. So if it should block you, you can play around it.
And for the extra deck?
Extra deck, all the zodiacs, you need the names, then only 2 of all of these, because since you run so few main deck zodiacs, you always end up in a situation where you're out of main deck zodiacs before you're out of extra deck zodiacs. So you don't need the third Shakanine, the third Tiger Mortar, third Bubble. In this deck, you end up playing True Draco. At the point you would need the third of each card anyway. A card you always want to play 3 of though is Trident. It's the best one. You can just shotgun it. And
this card should be banned.
It probably should, yes, but for now I'll play as many as I can. Then the Mrs. Radiant, then rank Force. I run 4 Flex Force. Pure Zodiac, usually don't run this many, but as I said, this deck is basically Zodiac first turn, then you play True Draco, so that's why you can afford the room for extra deck cards for different situations.
Why did you play instead Tornado Dragon?
Basically, you can, when you do rank Force, you almost always end up with Mrs. Radiant, and then when you're against Zodiac, they will buff with 500, and they don't have the same attack as their original, and you basically get, this is like a Trident that draws you cards when you pop with it, so you just get more pluses. This is for True Draco obviously, and this is like, oh, it's because if I don't know what I'm playing against, or I feel like I have to recycle the Zodiacs because I just drew Zodiacs in my opening hand and I can't play Draco Demise. So side deck, third Dynamite. Reason I side it, besides from like the reason I explained before with Ignis being better going second, is you basically swap out 2 of your Ignis because it's trash going first, and you can put this in as a better going first card, and you want to be able to get to at least 1 True Draco monster on your first turn, so yeah, that's why. Order should be banned, really unhealthy. The one of warning for going first against True Draco. Grisaille Prison. This should be good in theory. I never resolved it ever the entire weekend, despite siding in 3 every time I went first against Pure Zoo. Never do it, but it should be D-Barrier times 2, so almost as good as permanent D-Barrier skill drain. 3 Cosmics, also for the Draco Demise, and going second in general, it's just strong, you can out most things, and it's very flexible since you can go like Diagram, Effect, Chain Cosmic, and then your Diagram can destroy your Cosmic, so you basically get 2 cards for 1, which is good. And then triple board wipes, cards really strong. You just, if they don't have like My Body or Pianissimo, you basically just win from there. If you draw multiples, you can usually grind out their entire extra deck. And this is for Masterpiece, for people that for some reason really enjoy playing the Masterpiece or Die deck.
For the side deck, why did you not play Zafion or Metamion instead of the Kaiju?
They don't out Masterpiece. I just wanted them especially for outing Masterpiece. And this one, it doesn't take your normal either. So you can just kaiju it, and then you can establish your own board and have pressure from there. So it's more of a like immediate out, while the Time Lords, they can be very powerful, but they can also be much slower.
Thanks for the deck profile da Jonathan from the Team Victory. Da The New Player è tutto, ci rivediamo al prossimo video.